The swell was perfect that morning. 3 friends Kai, Jules, and Mateo paddled out past the rocky cove near Isla Verde, boards slicing the water. Farther out, shrouded in sea haze, was something they hadn't seen before. "Is that a ship?" Jules asked. It loomed massive on the horizon. No motion, no sound. But before we start our story, smash the like button, make sure to subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so you won't miss any new stories. They had surfed this coastline for years and knew every rock and wreck, but this was new. Towering above the waves sat a cruise, ship-rusted, streaked by salt, and utterly still. "How did it even get here?" Mateo said. "That thing's not supposed to exist." Curiosity swelled alongside the tide. They paddled closer, boards gliding silently. The ship's hull was faded but intact. No flags, no lights. It didn't look wrecked, just forgotten. The name had been scraped off, but faint letters remained. Marisol Dream. "Weird name for a ghost," Kai muttered, pulling out his phone to film. The footage felt unreal. The vessel sat there like a museum piece, frozen in time. Deck chairs still aligned. A faded towel fluttered faintly on a rail. They circled it cautiously, filming from a distance. It was haunting, but not in a scary way, more like stumbling on a memory someone left behind. As Jules zoomed in to get a panoramic shot of the upper deck, he paused. "Guys," he said slowly, "look at that. Thin wisps of smoke curled up from one of the rear chimneys. Just a soft trail, but unmistakable." "It's burning," Mateo whispered. "Someone's here." They froze in the water, unsure. The ship had been still, lifeless. Now it breathed. The smoke wasn't thick or fast, just a lazy curl into the sky. Kai adjusted his camera and zoomed again. No movement on deck, no figures. But something, or someone, had stirred the stillness. Mateo wanted to paddle back. Jules was already pulling closer. "What if someone's stuck up there?" he asked. "Or maybe it's just a flare stove or something." Cautiously, they approached the side ladder, tethered their boards to a rusty cleat, and climbed aboard. The deck groaned gently under their weight. They didn't go far, just enough to look over the rail and into the open common areas. Nothing moved. A book lay open on a deck chair. A mug stood beside it, half full and long cold. "This place feels lived in," Jules murmured. The smoke continued to rise behind them. They followed the trail carefully, staying close together. Past the pool deck, they reached a small metal chimney nestled beside what looked like an old maintenance lounge. The smoke came from there smoky, steady. Jules knocked softly on the frame. No answer. Mateo slowly pushed the door open. Inside, it was warm. Not hot just enough to take the edge off the salty chill. A kettle sat on a compact wood stove. Books were stacked neatly nearby. On the wall, a photo of the ship from a time when it was gleaming white, full of people. Someone had built a tiny home. No one appeared. But signs of life were everywhere. A broom leaned by the door. A notepad full of bird sketches lay beside an old radio. "Whoever lives here, they live simply," Kai said, and quietly. They stood still, unsure whether to call out again. The place felt respected, not deserted. Then they heard Ita's soft whistle coming from above. They looked up to see a silhouette on the upper deck, a person with a wide hat standing in the sun watching the horizon. The figure raised one hand, a slow wave, not alarmed, just acknowledging. Then they turned and disappeared. They didn't follow. Something about the wave had said, "It's okay, you've seen enough." They backed out slowly, gently closing the door. On the way back down the ladder, Jules whispered, "Who do you think they are?" Kai shrugged. "Someone who wanted quiet, maybe. Peace." The ocean lapped calmly at the hull. Back on their boards, they drifted for a moment before paddling away. The ship shrank behind them, Chimney still trailing smoke into the sky. It didn't feel haunted anymore, just private, personal, like a story unfolding quietly without an audience. A floating cabin for one. They uploaded the video that evening. "Found a drifting cruise ship off Isla Verde," the caption read. "No crew. Smoke from the chimney. Someone's still out there." The comments exploded. Theories, guesses, questions. But they didn't post anything more. Some things weren't meant to be unwrapped completely. Weeks passed. A few other surfers reported seeing the ship. Then one day, it was gone. No trace, no wake, just open water and the memories it left behind. "Do you think they moved on?" Mateo asked. "Maybe," Jules said. "Or maybe they just wanted to be found once, then vanish again." Kai kept a frame on his shelf, a still from the footage, smoke curling lazily from the chimney. Under it he had written, "Not all homes have addresses." When people asked, he'd just smile and say, "Met someone interesting out there once." And he meant it. The sea doesn't always offer answers. Sometimes it gives you questions dressed as moments encounters that shift something quietly inside you, the kind you only understand long after they've passed. The surfers never tried to chase the ship again, but they never forgot it either. Years later, Jules returned to the island. Different board, same coast. One morning, through the mist, he saw a trail of smoke on the horizon thin, drifting just like before. He didn't follow. He just watched, then paddled into the waves with a small, grateful smile.